Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Flannel Panel Podcast. As always, it's me, Mike,
And Rosario.
and we are back for another NFL season.
Oh,
And
yeah.
with another
Can't believe
NFL
it's time
season
already.
comes
Dude,
another inaugural pod, without a doubt.
yeah, without a doubt. One of the most fun times of year getting ready for the season. I'm sure we'll touch on it here at the beginning, but there's a lot of pain last year. But as we said last year, at the beginning of the year, I'm ready to get hurt again. It's just pain everywhere.
Without a
Um,
doubt.
I think, but I think, talking specifically about the Eagles, we've retooled, changed a lot in the coaching room, and I have high hopes as always for this upcoming season. Go Birds.
As you can see,
Nice.
the background and the setting for the podcast has changed quite a bit since
A
the
little
last
different, huh?
time.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
I'm joining you from beautiful Rio de Janeiro, obviously.
Congratulations. The game's in
As you
Sao
can
Paulo,
see.
but
Oh,
congratulations.
well, I'll take a train.
That
I'll
just
take a
hit me
train
now.
or
That's so
something.
funny. Yeah.
um, but yeah, I will say, no matter how bad they hurt us, they sure know how to make us feel a lot better going into a new season
Oh, it's
because I
crazy, dude.
am so incredibly back. It's crazy how down we were at the end of last year, almost to a
Oh
point
yeah,
where we couldn't watch football, to now be here and it's like, oh yeah, oh, I'm going to watch every game and I can't
without
wait.
a doubt. It's yeah, it's wild. I mean, it was such an utter collapse last year. Unlike anything that I have ever seen. Truthfully, you were what 10-1, and then the wheels just fall off completely. And even going into the playoff game, I I felt like we had a chance. I just felt like we were going to make a change. We are going to do something. It's the playoffs. We're going to turn up, and then we lose to the Baker Mayfield led Buccaneers. And we don't just lose; we got smoked. We were never in the game.
Yeah, we were driving up to New York. I'm not sure if you remember that weekend. And
Yes,
we talked about it in the car, and I was like, "No, we're gonna find a way.
we'll
This
just
team is
figure it
too
out.
good."
Of course.
And we did not figure it out. They scored 9 points
No.
the week before against Carolina,
Mm.
and then they scored like 30 against
Oh,
us.
yeah,
And I
it
was
was
like,
30
"This
something.
team is in shambles."
And we scored like 12, I think.
So
Yeah,
one of the biggest turnovers is the offensive and defensive coordinators.
for sure. I mean,
So, what are
I
your
think
thoughts on
that
those changes?
I'm pretty excited. Starting with defense, I know Vic Fangio came in and was like a special assistant, I think, before the Super Bowl, if you recall, and that didn't go so hot. So, like, my initial impression's not great. But I know he had like a head coaching opportunity. Like, he's definitely been around a long time and knows what he's doing. There's some real studs on defense, but there's also some real stinkers. So I think he's really going to have his work cut out. We can blame so much of last year on the coordinator, but at the end of the day, the players are on the field. So I'm intrigued there. I'm especially excited on offense for Kellen Moore. I've been following Kellen Moore since he was the quarterback at Boise State, so it's pretty wild, full
The
circle.
blue field, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
of course, naturally. Yeah, so I'm pretty intrigued to see what he can do. I mean, he's been with the Cowboys, I think the Chargers as well. And when you talk about like a star-studded lineup, this offense is unreal and has only gotten stronger. Aside from the center position, so I think he's going to have a lot of toys to play with, and I think it'll be great. I mean, I don't think we're going to see as many quick three and outs. I don't think we're going to see as many stupid screens or QB runs when we don't need them to be, and all that. We'll hope, I guess. But those are my
Four
thoughts, at
verts,
least.
baby. Just as
Run it
many
every
four
time.
verts as we can do.
Every time. I don't care. Madden out there, dude.
Yeah, there's a lot of toys in that offense. It has really no excuse to not be one of the top units across the
For
NFL
sure,
this
without a
year.
doubt. Oh, without a
You
doubt.
look at our wide receiver core, and it's unbelievable.
Yeah,
We'll get into it
only
a
gotten
little later,
stronger.
but
Yeah.
yeah. And then as far as the defense, yeah, I mean, I think as soon as we appointed Matt Patricia last year,
It was
I was
over.
yeah, we were in trouble. Like this
Yeah,
guy should not be near any NFL team. I
not
don't know if I'd
anymore.
let him
No,
coach the high school team down the street. Like I don't.
no.
He just everything he touches turns to whatever the opposite of gold is. So
Yes.
um, I think that anything other than what we had can be a net positive, as well as Sirianni taking a step back on the play calling front.
That's an excellent point.
Yeah.
I think that was a huge disconnect between him and Jalen Hurts. I mean, you talk about rumors in the offseason of them not talking and stuff. Like, I think that will be huge for the team. I hope.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if you remember at the beginning of his first season, he did a lot of the play calling, got off to a slow start, and then that's when Shane Steichen took over, and that's when we kind of hit our groove into the end of his first year. Exactly. Yeah. So I would like Nick to do nothing except make dumb faces into the camera. That really seems to be his like calling in life.
Yeah,
and
I
let
think he can really
the play
do that.
calling go to Kellen. So fingers crossed on that front.
Without a doubt, dude. It'll be interesting. I think talking about head coach now at least, he's definitely sitting on a seat that's getting pretty warm. This is going to be a make or break year, so we'll see about the guy and his job. But
yeah, and not only is the seat hot, it's like a dunk tank. If we start losing, he's going in quick.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Because this team is too talented to not make the playoffs.
Without a doubt. I mean, there were even questions this offseason of if he should come back. And, yeah, I mean, if you don't start hot right out of the gate, it seems like some changes are going to need to be made. So let's hope we don't get to that point. I don't want to speak it into existence too much. But, I think that's the state of the coaching room, dude.
And then before we move on to the players, let's look at the front office. Howie has been doing some really good wheeling and dealing.
He always does, dude. He always figures it out.
He is the best exec in any sport, right?
He has to. He has to be, right?
He's on fire.
He has to be. And of course, I'll say this because he's ours, but nobody does it like him.
Nobody's.
That's
doing
the
it like
greatest,
this guy,
dude.
Bro.
With him, I'll be you and him in the background. It's the greatest. I wish I made that my back. Never mind. There'll be more.
Yeah, I mean, I think the draft went really well. I think the
agree.
free agent acquisitions were very good.
For sure.
Howie, it's clear there are places that we're going to have less depth. You'll see it on the chart. It stands out, the depth chart. But the draft was really good. I thought free agency was also really good. And even some trades. He made some trades that I was really impressed with, just finding value on, guys that we needed and things that I had been a little worried about coming into the season. So,
Yeah, dude, I'm stoked with what he was able to do this offseason. And, I can't wait to dive into these players and really talk about some of the highlights, dude. There's some great stuff going on this team.
Yeah, so let's start at the quarterback position. As always, Jalen Hurts joins us as the starting quarterback.
Yeah.
Very excited for him this year. Hopefully he can stay healthy. I think that was a big issue in the last year is that he just didn't look healthy. He got hurt and just never got back.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially you look once we started to tank, his mobility was not the same. And that hurt us big time. Defenses don't really have to worry about him running anymore. They can play back a little bit more, cover our guys. I mean, you can see it in A.J. Brown's receiving lines for the second half of the season. It's just he was on such a tear to start the year, and then it dies down a little bit. And I think a lot of that has to do with Hurts being hurt and not having the mobility that he should have, and that is such a big piece of his game.
Yeah, from what I can see, I think he's tied for first in odds for MVP. That's the bar. And
that's crazy.
It's tough when you're at the top because you can either just do what's expected of you or go down. But I see no reason as to why he can't have an absolute monster of a season. Very excited for him to have another shot. I want him to win an MVP, obviously, because he got chipped out of one when he got hurt. But
facts.
It'd be nice year to get it this year. Why not?
Yeah,
just casually.
Just casual, no big deal. I'm getting an Eagles ad on the website I'm on right now. It's pretty electric.
What's it for? Are they trying to get you to buy a jersey?
It's Xfinity.
Oh. Xfinity Live?
Change the background once again. Xfinity. Oh, man.
But speaking of one of Howie's trades, he made a trade for Kenny Two Gloves, Kenny Pickett, Kenny Tiny Hands.
Yes, sir.
Crazy trade.
I picked up a Steelers Kenny Pickett jersey at TJ Maxx for a nice sale price. So I'm going to be rocking that this season.
Yeah. Hopefully you won't need to rock it. Fingers crossed. But
Yeah,
as
I mean,
far as
fair.
a backup quarterback, that's all you can really ask for.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I would have to agree. He wasn't setting the world on fire, but he can play a little bit.
Yeah, play a little bit. Hopefully not a lot. I mean, Marcus Mariota was terrible last year.
Ain't that a
I
fact?
wish we would have got Justin Fields. That would have been
That
fun.
would have been crazy. But I do
But
think he'll compete to start.
yeah, I think so. I think that was the biggest difference.
Yeah.
Is Kenny's not a starting quarterback, and everybody
No.
kind of knows it now. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think he's kind of like Gardner Minshew level, can come in and can play a little bit if you need him to do so, which is a lot better than what a lot of other teams have. So it's nice to have somebody in that room who at least has played a little bit in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, I think that experience will be huge. I mean, not that Kenny was ever on the level of what Foles was in his first stint here, but like you see what can happen when you have somebody who has played starting football and has to come in. I think you're right. It's going to make it's not going to make a huge difference because he's not going to play, but it would make a huge difference should things take a turn for the worst.
And to round out the room was Tanner McKee.
Yes,
really
sir. Apparently,
guy.
he's got connections to Brazil. I've been seeing it on social media.
Really?
Yeah, he did.
They're
like
not allowed to
commission work
leave
there.
the hotel, so I don't think they'll be able to do, do
Doubtful.
all that
Yeah,
much.
doubtful.
And then we can move on to the running back room now. The splash of free agency. There it is. Number one Penn State guy, Rosario Laspina.
I don't know, but I mean, well, St. Joe's did have a football team, so that's fair. Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm through the roof excited about this. I know he's 28. I know he's had a lot of wear and tear, but if things break right, like looking at upside, I mean, it could be insane with Saquon.
Yeah, I mean, we look at the other running backs who have played recently for us. Miles Sanders, not a Pro Bowler after he left, was a Pro Bowler here. DeAndre Swift wasn't a Pro Bowler before he got here, and I was a Pro Bowler.
Yeah,
you put an All-Pro back there, he doesn't even have to be at 100%.
No, sir. No, sir. And yeah, I mean, Hurts, if healthy, should take some of those runs. So yeah, I mean, I don't need a stat stuffer season from Saquon. I just need him to do his job. Like, I'm not drafting him in fantasy, but
I will draft him in fantasy. I will.
I don't know. Well, I mean, maybe we'll talk about it eventually, but I don't know. He scares me.
Yeah, and we also have different. Like, I like drafting Eagles players because then I can cheer like twice as much. Yeah, and you hate it. So it's the flip side.
I see it. I mean, the highs are high, but the lows are so low. You know what I mean?
They are. When it goes wrong, it goes so wrong.
It's so wrong.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I didn't think that it was a real possibility. The stagers were talking about it, and I was like, yeah whatever. Yeah, sure. We're going to bring Swift back. And then all of a sudden we went and we paid it, and we paid the price for him. But
without a doubt.
I mean,
and not only did we not bring Swift back, but Swift was the very first free agent signed in free agency to the Bears. Like, it was clear right away that we were going to have to do something different. That was funny.
And the fact that it was on Hard Knocks, if you haven't seen the clip,
oh, dude,
the GM almost gets fired live. Well, not live, but on TV,
on recording. Yeah.
So that was pretty wonderful. To get that over on Giants fans is always gonna make it a little extra sweet. It was almost a perfect deal. So now it just has to work out on the field.
Yes, exactly. It's worked out in our hearts for sure.
It's worked out in the Fanatics bank account because they sold 1 billion uniforms.
I mean, I was a part of that. I'll tell you right now.
And he's backed up by Kenny G and Will Shipley, who we'll have to see. I don't know how good either of them will be. Hopefully they don't have to be thrust in too much. But
yeah, I mean, I said coach's kid, Will Shipley. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Kenny's had his time. Shipley's small, right? He could be Boston Scott, maybe. I don't know.
I think he got cut.
Really?
Boston, yeah. And people are like, bring him back. Bring him
right back, dude. That's huge. He can only play for one team.
Well, he's going to go to the Giants. I think that's the issue. They'll just sign him so
I mean,
he
yeah,
can't
but he'll
score against
suck
them.
because it's like when the Sixers signed Al Horford and it just didn't
Oh,
work, and then he had to go
don't
back. you
don't
know,
say that.
he's our Al
That was the
Horford.
worst thing ever.
Yes, it was.
But now we
I
get
love
to
being a
move on
Philly sports
to
fan.
probably the most exciting part of the team, I'd say,
I mean,
our
it's
wide
yeah,
receiver
it's
room.
the most exciting group in football, in my opinion.
I think so. The best wide receiver room in a long time, I'll say. When's the last time you saw, you know, a, a max contract guy and 2 first rounders on the same team
Yeah, I
at
mean,
the same position?
you
It's
just
crazy.
don't see it. Yeah, you just don't see it.
Obviously, AJ leads the room.
AJ from the top, dude. What a he's such a monster. He really
Um,
is.
yeah, he's unbelievable. He's got everything you could ever want in a wide receiver. It's
Mhm.
actually he was made in a lab. It's the only way that
Pretty
I
much,
can
yeah.
explain it.
I mean, I will say though, when we went to pick out shirts for the team, AJ might be the top dog, but there's a reason both of us wanted that number 6 shirt, dude.
Number one in our
Um,
hearts.
facts, facts. I like Devonta Smith, my dog. Love that dude. Probably my favorite player on the team. Um, I think he should have another fantastic season.
Yeah.
He's just him. He really is.
As a skinny guy, I love the
Yeah,
Slim Reaper. Like it just
yeah.
he's out there repping for even though he's not skinny, but
I
comparatively.
mean, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And then Jahan Dotson joins the room, which to me it
What a
was
move, dude.
I don't want to say a big hole in the team, but it was like who's gonna catch 40 balls for us this year?
Yeah,
It needs to
yeah.
be one other guy.
Will it be rookie Johnny Wilson? No, it will not be. It will be the burner, Jahan Dotson.
Yeah, I think he's a really good fit for the team, as well as just bringing as much talent as you can into that room, um,
Facts, dude.
and trying to like be an opposing defense. How many cornerbacks do you have? How are you going to cover all these guys?
You don't?
Yeah, and the goal is that you just can't. So
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, next after that, it's for me. I have here the rookie Johnny Wilson. Dude's like 6'7". That's a real matchup nightmare out there. And then also Britton Covey, who I'm sure will return some punts. I don't know what our kick return team's going to look like with the whole new kickoff rules, which I haven't even watched any of in the preseason. I have no clue what it's going to look like. I'm going to be surprised on Thursday night.
it's not that exciting, I'll say.
That's a shame. I mean, they make it sound like it's pretty cool.
They're like, it's the biggest change that we've seen in football. And it's just kind of like, oh, well, they just kick it and now they take it out and get tackled. But it's definitely, it's better. I don't really care. We'll have to
Yeah,
see.
it's the kickoff. Yeah,
It all depends on who returns it exactly. Like if AJ Brown's like, yeah, I'm going to go back there and return it.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
oh, I'm going to watch the kickoff now.
yeah.
So, and then we have
Um,
tight end, unless did you want to go further in on the kickoff? You seem very
no, I
passionate.
don't need it. I mean, I don't need to talk about it ever again, to be honest.
Until we lose a game on that kickoff. Like,
Facts, and then
stupid.
I mean, it will be our world in a bad way.
But Dallas Goedert still in the tight end room, underrated tight end in the league. He just has his games. I think that's the way to put it with him. There are some weeks he's going to catch 2 balls, but otherwise he's going to have these games where he just absolutely shreds opponents. He's kind of like George Kittle light, I'd say.
That's interesting.
He's a big yak guy,
So
can
interesting.
get balls after catch. He's difficult to bring down,
Yeah, I mean, he can do a lot. He can block. Yeah, I mean, I feel like he definitely goes radio silent sometimes, but I don't know that that's his fault. It's just there's a lot of playmakers, and you're not always going to choose the tight end. But yeah, he's there when we need him, for sure, without a doubt.
A lot of mouths to feed.
Yeah, I once again, like I'm not going to touch a lot of these people in fantasy, but I need them to be there when we need them, and that is what Dallas does.
And now we get to the O-line. Obviously, big hole in the middle, Jason
Yeah,
Kelsey.
for sure,
Off to
dude.
Canton.
For sure. See you in 5 years.
How do you foresee his loss, like on the offensive line? How like effective do you think it's going to be? How much do you think we're going to feel?
I've seen varying things that have said like he was not at his best, like they think he'll be fine. I've seen other things that are like Kelsey was always the one that calls out protections. Now it'll be on Hurts, but they think it'll be a good thing for Hurts. I think everybody's just trying to cope. I think we'll feel it, but not a ton. Like I think the offensive line is still very, very solid. So it'll be noticeable. And then, hey, when Cam Jurgens gets blown up and Hurts gets sacked because of him or something stupid, yeah, we're gonna hear it.
Yeah.
But other than that, you know, I think we'll miss the presence more so than the player, if that makes sense.
It's going to be weird, and he's going to be at the games, and he's going to get on TV. And
Facts, yes.
yeah, I mean, he was still a really good center for us, in the way that he's very unique, and they clearly try to go like for like with Cam, right? They're not bringing in just the best center; they're bringing in the best center who can do
Who's
what
also
Jason
kind of
did.
like Jason Kelsey, yeah.
So it's going to be interesting, I think you can kind of take your center for granted. All the offensive linemen, really.
But I mean, center more than anything, I feel.
Yeah. So we will see. Otherwise, it's a great unit, man.
It is.
Both of the tackles, elite.
Just absolutely amazing. I mean, Mailata, what an incredible story he's been. And he's just so damn good.
He's the biggest dude of all time. I love that. Just put the biggest dude up there.
Yeah.
And speaking of big dudes,
Mekhi
Becton.
Dude, it's probably just because I love the draft and I get so hype about these prospects. I liked Mekhi a lot coming out of school. Jesus, I can't talk. I'm so stoked to have him on our team. He's, once again, such a monster guy. Maybe he's a little bit too big to play guard. I don't know. Hasn't necessarily been, the prospect we had hoped he'd been in the NFL, but I am very excited to see what he can do in an Eagles uniform.
Yeah, never in a million years would I have thought that he was ever going to touch guard, just because he is so big.
Yeah, I think he's like 6'8", 360, something like that, dude. It's insane.
It's wild. So it's going to be interesting to see how he does when he kicks inside. I mean, we talk about it all the time with prospects coming out at tackle. This guy's underside. He'll kick in.
Exactly.
It's very rare that it's like, oh, this dude's massive. We're going to put him right.
Yeah, we'll kick him inside. Yeah.
So I think it's more so just trying to get your best 5 guys out there.
Yeah, that's exactly it, dude. Just stand in the way.
Which is nice that he's one of the best 5 guys, because I think he's got a high ceiling. I don't know how long he'll be here, but we'll just see it at guard what he can do.
Exactly. With Tyler Steen behind him.
Yeah, Tyler Steen got hurt in the preseason. It was a little bit of a shame. I think he was going to be the guy, and then he got hurt. And
he was definitely whom I had felt was going to be the guy, yes.
Yeah.
So, and then not a lot of depth after that.
Yeah, on the other side, obviously, Dickerson, top guard in the league. He's fantastic.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Still need to get the jersey. That'll be I'll just have to get that. I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and go and get one.
You'll just have to get it, yeah.
Not a lot of depth on that offensive line. No, I will say in the draft, our ideal has always been to take a lot of the big guys, and we've taken a lot of non-big guys recently, and I think now you can start to see it a little bit.
For sure. So, yeah, I mean, we pray to the injury gods for good health. I'll say that.
Yes, right here. There he is. And if we move to the defensive side of the ball here.
Yeah, it's a little less exciting.
I'm very excited for this defensive unit.
I'm worried.
Especially the front line. It's time now.
Where
it's
we
a whole
always
new group. Yeah.
Yes. It's going to be pretty wild, dude. Start off the top with the marquee defensive signing, Bryce Huff from the Jets, former undrafted player. I think I have to have high hopes for him because of the contract and all, but he showed a lot, and it's going to be interesting to see what he can do on this line.
Yeah, I think that the big thing with Huff was that he had really good production in limited stats.
Yes, that's certainly true, yes.
But I think this is a team that's going to rotate guys a lot. I mean, if you look at just at edge, Obviously, Sweat is going to have to be the number one guy,
Yes.
which is going to be fun to see him in that situation. But Sweat, Huff, BG, Nolan Smith, all these guys are going to be getting runs, and they're all good players.
Hunt.
Yeah, Jalix Hunt. Yeah,
Beast.
I mean, there's still a lot of guys up there that can make an impact.
For sure, dude. For sure. I mean, that's been our strength for the longest time on defense is just trying to pressure the quarterback so they can't throw it, so we don't have to worry about the secondary. And I think that's going to be the strategy again.
Yep. And we even got the big boys inside, too, the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yes, sir, dude. Would love to see a step up from Jordan Davis this year. Jalen Carter certainly showed us what he was made of last year. Going to need, more of that from him. I'm excited. Jalen Carter a year later. Unbelievable that this worked out the way it did in the draft.
Yeah, that was crazy. I can't believe that actually happened.
Yeah.
I think he's set for a breakout year, to be honest. I think that next to Davis, these guys, they have good chemistry. They know how to rush together, and now it's just them. You know what I mean? It's their time to step up. So I'm very excited for the defensive front.
That's a fact. Stepping aside.
We do. I was going to say Milton Williams as well.
Yes, So on the whatever site I'm on, has him listed as a third defensive tackle rather than a backup.
Yeah.
So there's options.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great player in his own right. He's a beast of a human. So having him, I think he's in a contract year too, which is always a good thing.
That's huge.
So,
money motivates, baby.
The defensive line has definitely seen a lot of turnover. Obviously, losing Cox.
Yes.
Very sad. Losing both of those two guys last year was sad to see. But it was, I think it was time.
In a lot of ways. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure, you can only hold on to the pass for so long.
Leave the game before the game leaves you. At Casemiro. Sorry.
I like that. The game
just
has
had to
left
get
him.
it in.
The game has left him. Anyway.
And now we get to Rosario's favorite part of the defense.
Yay.
The linebackers.
Linebacking core. This is it's always ugly. It is. And there's some names on here that I love, but I just know in practice this is going to be a rough unit. Boy, is it going to be ugly. I mean, in the middle, Devin White, whom we signed to a 1-year deal.
He's on a prove-it contract, man.
Without a doubt, dude. Without a doubt. Rookie year was great. Since then, has had some great plays, but consistency is just not there. It's going to be very interesting to see how it works. All name, I'm excited. Like, I love to see the big names. Not that he's a big name, but relative to some of the other ones.
For a linebacker, yeah.
Yes, yeah. So I'm excited there. Nervous, anxious, but excited. You also got Nakobe Dean in the middle. Last time I checked, still pretty undersized. Unfortunately, has not grown.
No.
It's a darn shame.
I really betting on that growth spurt.
I thought so, dude. I'm like, he's a growing boy. He can do this. Not the case.
Needs to drink his milk.
Yeah. So, that's that in the middle. And then, you look at some of these outside names. Zach Bond. He was somebody who I was super high on coming out of the draft. I think he went to Wisconsin. Went to the Saints, I think. And that's really the last I've heard of him. And completely forgot that he was on this roster. So
until 30 minutes ago.
Yeah. I'm intrigued by the name. We'll see how it goes. You got Jeremiah Trotter Jr. behind that, the rookie. Don't want to try too hard to compare him to his father. I think that's very unfair. So, we'll see what kind of project player he can be.
Yeah, he's undersized as well.
Without a doubt, yes. Yeah.
Which is, it's a weird that's kind of the type that they're looking for guys who can fly around a little bit, but are not real thumpers. But that's what Devin White is. So it's a little bit of a weird kind of balance between those guys.
Yes, it is.
And then we move on to, probably the unit with the most overhaul this year, our cornerbacks.
Yeah,
dude.
This
safeties. We'll just do DBs all together.
The secondary needed it. It got it. And there's going to be a lot of question marks back there, but, we'll see what happens. Still big place lay off the top. And then after that, it's going to be a lot of people with a lot to prove. And, some young faces, some new faces.
I think Quignon's going to be a beast. I
Dude,
really do think Quignon is going to be a beast.
I
A
really hope
beast.
so. The way things fell in this draft, it was just unbelievable with offense going so early and defensive players just not getting picked. I did not think that we would be able to select Quinyon Mitchell. It just was not in any of my mocks. I didn't think it. Yeah, I think he's the best corner in the draft. So it is so rare that we pick a corner in the first round. I am so excited to see how it turns out.
Yeah, if we would have ended with Cooper DeJean in the first, I would have been like, hey, man, let's
Yeah, I
go.
mean,
We
well, I
needed
mean, dude,
somebody.
it was mocked to us a billion times. Like, just kind of thought. So, yeah, he's still listed as a nickel cornerback for now. We'll see if he makes that transition over to safety. But I think he'll just be a versatile guy to have back there.
Yeah.
Coop.
And we also have Isaiah Rogers.
Yes, yeah,
I think he will be doing some of the returning. I think there's a good chance of
yes,
that
that's
as
actually
well.
very true. Yeah, could be like a steady Eddie back there. We'll see what happens.
But he was really good, and then he got suspended for gambling, right? That's what
Gambling. Whatever, dude. Whatever.
as long as you're betting us to win, it's all right.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, behind that, you got guys like Eli Ricks, Keely Ringo, some of our younger guys with a year under their belt now. That'll be certainly interesting. There's a safety who I'm particularly interested in making his return after talking a lot of trash on the city, like a true Philadelphian would. C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I'm stoked to have him back, dude.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. I think he brings that swag to the defense.
He just does, dude. Yeah,
and I just don't think we had that. We lost that at the end of last year.
for
right?
sure,
Like,
dude.
everyone's looking at James Bradbury to make a play, and it's like, yeah, of course. Like nobody's confident ever.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I think confidence when you're a defensive back is such a huge piece of it. That is such a difficult position to play anymore. So confidence is huge for these guys.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Obviously, Reed is back there with him.
Yes.
So,
Are you looking at the same depth chart as I that has Avonte Maddox listed at safety?
let's see here. Yes, yeah, strong safety backup.
I'd probably flip him and Coop, like put Avonte at nickel and Coop at safety. We'll see. I mean, we'll see how it all plays out. I think a lot of those guys will be interchangeable.
Yeah, it is nice to see Keely high up. Keely Ringo had a really tough rookie year. He was so young, so raw. It's nice to see it turning into something here.
For sure. Yeah, dude. I mean, past the defense, our special teams, we still got Jakey.
Babyface
what a kicker
assassin.
he is.
Oh yeah,
love him. Gonna be
he's
going
got
for
a
him
beard,
in fantasy.
and he still looks like a baby.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Few men could pull that off. All right. So, do you want to do, I guess, your breakout and MVP of the team?
Yeah, my breakout player is Quinyon Mitchell.
Yes, sir.
I really think that he's just gonna. It's similar, not to the level, but similar to Sauce Gardner, where it's like, oh yeah, he's here and he's just one of the best ones.
Yeah,
he's gonna do that. And then the MVP is Jalen Carter. I'm telling you,
okay, wow,
he's gonna blow it up this year. That is absolutely the guy who I'm sitting here looking at, and I'm like, we need somebody to take a step up. And he was a first overall pick caliber guy who's now in a defense that suits him. He's got guys next to him. I just think he's got the opportunity to really, really take advantage.
Damn. I mean, dude, I was gonna say him as my breakout, so I feel like I can no longer do that. Hell, dude, I'm excited for offensive line. Why don't Mekhi Becton be my breakout player?
Let's go. Come on.
I love the names, dude. I love the names. No, I mean, in all honesty, I don't know. Maybe I go for Carter's running mate in Jordan Davis. Someone who was crazy hyped out of school. I was so excited to have, and he's been solid. But I still think there's more there. So as far as somebody I'd love to see break out, it's him. And my MVP is going to go on the other side of the ball, and it's going to be A.J. Brown. He was on like record-breaking pace at the beginning of last year. And if Hurts doesn't get injured, I think he has a much more solid second half of the year, A.J. that is. So I really think if those two guys can put it together, AJ can have a all world season, like best receiver in the league, especially with what Justin Jefferson's going to have to go through. That title's up for the taking. So
It
AJ,
is. You just got to go grab it. Got to go grab it.
That's a fact. All right, you want to run through the schedule real quick?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's run through.
Speed run this thing, dude.
Starting with the game in Mikasa, also known as
Brazil.
I
first want to say
win this game.
We are going to win this game. I agree. I do want to say the Packers provided me with my favorite game of the 2023 NFL season in their smackdown of the Cowboys.
True.
So I want to thank them for that. But it's a new year. We're going to beat them.
Yes, we are definitely going to beat them in the first game of the season.
Keep track of your own win total. Week 2, Atlanta, Monday night. I think that's going to be really interesting. I think the Falcons could be a very, very scary team this year if Kirk is healthy and
Little Kirko
puts it together. I think that offense is insane. I think the defense has a lot of potential. That being said, I still think we're going to win the game.
Yeah, primetime Kirk, man. He's primetime Kirk. You know this.
Yes, it's so true. It's so true.
That's 2 wins.
Nothing has changed. That's 2 wins for me as well. Next, at New Orleans. That's a win for me. That team's trash, in my opinion.
Yeah, we're going to beat the Saints. It's Derek Carr. I agree.
And then week 4 is in Tampa Bay, a little rematch. I'm going to give us a win here, too.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
I'm
this
real scared.
This is your get-right game.
It has to be like, well, so like in us talking about Sirianni and, you know, if you start off slow and you're going to go, like this is going to be such a big barometer of how the season's going to go.
I think we're gonna beat this team. I think I don't know. We beat them early in the year last year, and then that game leaves such a sour taste in your mouth, and it doesn't really get out of your mouth until you got to beat those guys.
Yes,
so I think they'll beat them. I don't think that team's that good.
All right, we're gonna have to really speed it up here before I lose my trial of Zoom. Ready?
Let's do it. Yeah.
Browns win. Giants win. Bengals maybe first loss. Okay, yeah. I agree. Jaguars win.
Loss.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, this is my banana peel game.
Okay, I'm gonna give myself the win. Dallas at Dallas. That's gonna be my loss there.
Yeah, then we lose that as well.
3 in a row. Come on, Mike.
It happens.
It's fine. We'll make right at Washington.
Correct. We're gonna win.
Win. Rams.
We're gonna win.
Okay. I'm gonna give this a loss, I think. Ooh, I don't like the way the next game looks either.
Ravens. We're gonna win. We're gonna win in Baltimore.
I'm gonna give us a loss next year. I'm gonna be conservative this year, I think. Loss.
The turntables.
Versus Carolina, the easiest win of all time.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh win.
Yep.
At Washington win. Dallas at home win. Giants win.
Yeah.
That's 13 wins for me.
I think I have us losing 1, 2, 14 wins. 14-3.
All right. 13 and 4.
We lose 3 games in a row in the middle of the season, and we win everything
and that's
else.
It.
Yeah,
including the Super Bowl.
Exactly. Yeah, we win out from that point on.
That's a fact. All right, we're back in business. Zoom trial ended. New one started. Let's roll.
Yeah. We cannot be stopped.
We cannot be stopped now. Yeah, dude, 13 wins. I think that's great. I love how I said I was going to be a little bit more conservative and then still give us 13 wins. I don't know, man. It seems right. I think that we could win any of those games that both of us said we'd lose. I don't know, dude. I have high hopes for the season. I've seen some things of people not being so high on us. I've seen other people that I watch and listen to, having very high hopes with us. So it's all up in the air, of course, because it's another NFL season.
The way I look at it is hate at your own peril. Go ahead. Think we're not gonna be good. Like I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that. I ride with my guys this year. I do. I'm very confident. I mean, this team was 10-1 last year.
Yes.
And yes, yes, it absolutely fell apart. It did. Let's not pretend like it didn't. But I put a lot of that on the people who were coaching.
Yeah, for sure.
Where's Brian Johnson?
Nowhere.
Where's Sean Desai?
At home.
Where's Matt Patricia?
On his couch.
Yeah, these guys are not, and like they weren't it. They weren't it. And not to say that they'll never be it, but like as of right now, they're not good enough.
No, I mean we took shots and we missed. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Now we've brought in some more known commodities. You know, for better or worse. I think for better. You know, for every shot you take, okay, maybe you hit on a Steichen, maybe you hit on a Gannon, and now look at both of them. But you know, maybe it ends up the way it did last year, and that was just not good.
That Cardinals game was the worst game.
That was terrible. I was listening to something today. They were talking about like potential coach of the year, and they ended up choosing Dan Campbell, but like his other option was Jonathan Gannon.
I think they're going to be good.
I think they're going to be very good. Yeah, I'm drafting Kyler Murray very highly in fantasy.
You know me, bro. If he runs, I draft him. That's
how you win the game. Yeah. But anything else to add now that we've been granted more time?
Yeah, now that we have infinite time.
Infinite time.
No, I think that's really it. I do think that the Jags game's a bit of a banana peel. I think the Jags are going to be good.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
And I don't know why I think we're going to beat the Ravens. I just do. I just think we're going to go into there, battle of the birds.
I mean, dude, if we're Super Bowl contenders, which I believe we are, that's a game we should win, you know?
And maybe it's because Keegan says he wants to go, and I'm like,
man.
like sending the one Birds fan, like, yeah, well, like I want that to be
December 1st. Tickets as low as 180. Huh? That's interesting. I wonder if they're mean to opposing fans in Baltimore.
Not as mean as us. So.
Fair enough. I mean, I'll never know.
I'm sure you'll be all right.
Yeah. Let's see. First game's on Peacock. We should put that out there.
It is on Peacock?
It's on Peacock, yeah. You guys better get Peacock, dude.
I have it. Okay. We're good to go. I thought it was on regular TV. Oh, that's awesome.
I think it's exclusively on the Peacock.
Wow. That's crazy. It's also crazy to have a Friday night football game. Like NFL is just like putting the games on whenever now.
Without a doubt. Yeah, I mean, this whole decision, obviously money motivated, trying to grow the game, going to South America, you know, something new. Yeah, it's all a little weird. There's wildfires in Brazil. I don't want our players to get asthma.
No.
But it's, you know, they're going to send them anyway. So we'll see. I do think, I heard this, I don't know how true it is, so I'm just going to say it. Isn't that great? Sao Paulo, I guess their soccer team or football wears black and white.
Yes.
And the rival wears green and yellow.
Yes.
And we're wearing black and white, and the Packers are wearing green and yellow.
Yeah.
Pretty electric, if I do say so
myself.
It is nice,
yeah. That area, like, you're not allowed to wear, like, green in the stadium. Like, you can't.
Kind of like when I wore red to the Union game.
Yeah. You can't. And, like, the Packers are the biggest team in Brazil because they're green and, you know, yellow.
Yeah, they're Brazil's colors. Yeah.
But that's, like, the one place you can't send them is where they sent them. So it's silly, but
sounds good. We'll wear our black and white, and I'm excited.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're gonna look clean. We're gonna look clean without a doubt. It's gonna be hot though. It's gonna be a crazy.
Yeah,
game.
Isn't that's nuts to think about, huh?
Yeah, I mean they're playing in South America in September. I almost said August, but yeah, it's gonna be hot.
Yeah, it is very much so September now. Yeah. Other highlighted games. I'm looking at the Steelers game in Philly. Maybe I go.
Justin Fields will be the starting quarterback at that point in time.
I think I agree. I'm not gonna lie. I have high hopes for Russ. I really do. But yeah, I think there's a good chance that that'll be Fields.
Russ is cooked.
Also, this was at Ross, not TJ Maxx. They had a Russell Wilson Broncos jersey and a Justin Fields Bears jersey, and I'm eyeing them up. I'm waiting for them to go a little cheaper, but I'm eyeing them up. Don't you worry. Especially that Fields jersey.
Yeah, the Fields one is nice. The Fields one is nice.
Broncos country, let's ride.
Let's ride.
That was just such. I mean, that was just such a bad couple of years. 2 years, 1 year,
Yeah,
2 years.
it was just so, and it was so bad on the first. Like they didn't even get to have like a couple good games. Like they
Yeah,
were
just
just
from the jump.
terrible
Yeah,
from the rip. Yeah, and they lost in Seattle in game one. Like, oh, that's so bad.
yeah, yeah.
They
That was
lost
cruel.
on like a 64-yard missed field goal. I'm
That was
like, oh my
cruel.
god.
My last note here. Can you guess which game has the cheapest tickets? At least as far as what ESPN says.
I
Unless you have
will.
it right in front of you too.
I think I know. Well, I don't know about. I don't have it in front of me. But
Okay.
is it in Philly? The one in
No,
Philly with
it
the
is an
cheapest
away game.
tickets.
Here's an
Yeah, the
away
one in
game.
Philly is the Panthers. So if I
Yeah,
go to a game,
naturally.
it will be the Panthers.
Naturally.
Um, what is it? Oh, Jacksonville.
No. Well, that's at home.
Oh, that's in Philly, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It's at home.
I'm trying to think. Oh, now I
This
gotta
team
look
is a
through and
bunch of
see who's
losers, and I
away.
hate them.
Losers, and we hate
All
them.
right, this is
Is it
bad
Washington?
podcasting. No, it's Dallas. Tickets as low as $74.
Really?
Clowns, dude.
That's crazy.
They're clowns.
Yeah, I hope they fall apart.
Me too.
I can't wait.
Except for Rico Dowdle. But other than that, they can fall apart.
Yeah. As
I'm
a
so
Rico Dowdle
fantasy pilled
believer,
right now, dude.
and as a Kyle Pitts believer, I'm really happy that this year's gonna. Kyle Pitts is gonna be great this year. I can't.
I
Wait.
think it'll be very good. Dude, as a Drake London fan, dude, I think Drake London's going to
Dude.
eat. I think Drake London's going to have a monster year. God, I hope so.
Yeah,
I
it's gonna
really
be a
hope
good
so.
year. A lot of turnover in the NFL.
Yeah, I just think it's
really
going to be
just
fun. I do.
who can take down the Death Star? Who can take down
Yes.
Big Red? That's
Yeah,
all
I
that
mean,
matters.
who can stop the three-peat that's never been? You know, it's actually it's nuts to see a team on the verge of 3 in a row when it's never happened in the NFL. So, you know, I mean, the Bills went to 4 in a row and lost, but, you know, that's a different kind
It's
of
almost
special.
more impressive, to be honest.
It is. It
They get
is.
to force the
It's
lead
got to
them
be
all.
so painful. Like, I feel like learning about that as a kid, I was just like, ha. But, like, actually thinking about it, and if that was
We
my
lost
team,
one
dude,
Super Bowl 2 years ago, and I still have not recovered mentally.
it was the worst thing ever.
I still don't know if I can
4
trust
in a
anyone.
row?
4
4 in a
is
row.
absurd.
That's
crazy.
crazy. All right, with that.
The final thing I wanted to just put in here, we are doing the final panel podcast Fantasy Football League. We're very fantasy
Yes.
pilled.
Yes,
So
we are.
if you're listening
At the
and are
very
in this
last
far-
minute, I'm putting this draft
Yeah.
together, which is right now.
Yeah, it's going to be right now.
I'm going to text
If
them
you
all
are
right
listening,
now.
you can text. Yeah, just text us and we'll add you in. The winner of the league will get a spot on the Super Bowl podcast
Yes.
to give a
Yes.
little knowledge. So
Without a doubt.
if you think that you can do better than us, you got to.
We have last year's winner with us here right now. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. I did cook last year. Last year I cooked.
You
But
did,
that's
I mean,
because I had Karen and Puka. I knew.
Yeah.
I had my finger on the pulse.
Yeah, that's a fact. Why don't I have a...
Yeah,
I
she just
definitely made a
texted you
group
interested
chat
in
for
the
this,
league.
dude. There it is.
I don't know
Final
if you did.
Fantasy.
Oh, maybe you did.
The last text was September 8th at 2023.
Goes way
Oh, man.
back. We're gonna start.
man.
This is gonna be a dynasty. It's gonna go
That's
for
a
years
fact.
and years and years.
I
until
feel
the
like we're going to
podcast
have some
dies.
turnover in
Never.
this group, too.
Probably. That's why I'm
When
like,
I-
if there are people interested listening,
Yeah.
feel free. I'm sure we can make spots.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to have to hear it tomorrow and then text us by Thursday. So
Yes, sir.
we'll see.
It's a race.
Not-
It's a race against the clock.
Yeah, it is. As I pull up the group chat, it brings up like a map of my Find My people, and it's just us and then aiming across the world, dude.
Across the pond.
Yeah, that's so funny. All right. It's been fun. It's, you know, I feel like I say the word exciting a lot on this podcast, but it's another exciting year. It's been great. You know, we've been in contention now for a while. Even when things were bad, we had hope. And I don't know how much longer that'll last. Obviously, we still have a strong core, but I just want to enjoy it while we can.
Yeah. I am certifiably stoked for this year, without
Let's
a
go.
doubt. I think
Certifiably stoked.
this year is going to be awesome. I think the vibes are good. Obviously, the things can turn very quickly, but
Yes,
I think
indeed.
that this is a year that we can all get really excited, and it's going to be a good time.
That's a fact. That's
Go
a fact.
Birds,
Go
baby!
Birds. As far as the future of our podcast goes, I think we'll try to be pretty consistent with it throughout the season. I mean, this is very easy for us now
Yeah,
to just video call. Who would have thought?
yeah.
You
This
know,
is easier than driving to each other's
without a yeah,
houses. To
just
be
without a
honest.
doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. Trying to set up like the camera and everything. Yeah. Um, cool, cool. That's all I got for today.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for listening. Excited for the new season, and go Birds.
Go Birds.
Peace.
Peace.